Welcome to CX Today. My name's David Dungay. I am here at the Sinch stand, Enterprise Connect 2022 with Jonathan Bean. Welcome to the show, Jonathan. How are you?
Thanks very much. I'm good. You having a good time?
I'm having a great time. It's so good to be back in person.
Yep.
Jonathan, let's get into it straight away. You were here 3 years ago for the first time. We've gone through a global pandemic. What kind of transition has Sinch gone through over that period?
Well, it's great to be back talking with customers, partners, and everyone in the ecosystem. It's truly fantastic that we're out of the pandemic. Yeah, lots has happened at Sinch in that time. I think 3 years ago, Sinch was 400 people. We're now 4,000 people in 62 locations around the world, right? Not only do we provide leading messaging services, we bought the US's leading voice play Inteliquent, and also on the email front, Pathwire as well. And also additional to that, we've invested in and acquired a lot of conversational AI technology as well. So really the ability to power so much of the show, to be honest with you, with core messaging, voice and email technology is great. So that's why it's great to be here with Sinch, and we're all about personalized communication at scale, which is really one of the big challenges that enterprises have today.
Let's get into that. We see you as the CPaaS provider that's underpinning a lot of the people in this room. What's happening on the CPaaS front right now? What's going on?
So I think let's look at what Gartner's saying, right? 90% of all enterprises will be leveraging CPaaS in order to make them competitive, right? They say 90% in the enterprise space, 40% in the SMB space. But if you add the applications layer to that, I'm sure that will be in the 90% space. I mean, I firmly believe we're just at the beginning of how CPaaS is going to enable organizations to transform their customer experience. And that's really, where we're playing. Whether you're taking APIs and building your own applications, or whether you are, using an application to, access CPaaS channels like messaging, like voice, like email, we're just at the beginning. And I think together we're all growing this market. And what's more important is, the enterprises that we see that are successful are really choosing one point in their customer journey and saying, how can we make an impact there? How can we change the metrics? So not only are we just communicating one way with our customers, what we're seeing now is that brands really that want to deliver that customer experience are looking at how they can take advantage of the conversational future and the new channels that are there to enable, an experience which is like talking to your friends, not talking to, a brand or a company which have traditionally been very one way in communication. I
just want to pick up on that CPaaS point there. Years ago, CPaaS has been around, right, for a little while. It used to be quite a complex, messy space. Now, our enterprises really, has the penny dropped on the advantages of CPaaS, what it can deliver for them and their businesses and their interactions with their customers? Are they really understanding this now?
Yeah, I think, CPaaS grew out of being a developer play, right? It was very much about providing an API to a developer to get easy access to a communications channels to build something. And we saw a lot of CPaaS adoption with what we would call, digital forward, companies. Now it's pretty, commonplace in the enterprise. It depends how they want to use it. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's looking to transform customer experience to see how they can compete in the marketplace. So I think, CPaaS is growing up. It's going beyond the developer. It's very much going into the enterprise. It's very much going into, all of the different sort of systems integrators and people like that that are looking to drive these programs within the enterprise. Across all different communications channels. And I think the communications channels are interesting in themselves, right? SMS is actually, some people said SMS would die, 5 years ago. It's never been more prevalent. There's never been more SMSs been sent in the world. Why? Because it's 100% reach. If you then add to that, the OTT channels, the people like WhatsApp or KakaoTalk in Korea or Facebook Messenger or Instagram or, Line in Japan or whatever, then you have that at play and how they're coming into the market and being able to be leveraged. I think what companies want is how can we use these channels, easily. That's why we've developed our own conversation API, which gives them one API to basically plug into all those channels and allows the customer to choose how they want to communicate with you. And that's, super, super powerful, but very early days still.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing, actionable insights has been one phrase that's sort of rung true for me at this show. What are you seeing from that conversation point of view? How people are extracting that actionable insights out of those conversations? What are Sinch up to there?
Yeah, I think it's critical, right? You need to know. I mean, what consumers want is they want, a personal experience which is timely, which is adding value to them, and which is actionable, in their day-to-day lives. So we're actually focusing on the consumer, and we're focusing on with companies. Okay, what is the one business metric that you want to affect, right? Is it a churn reduction metric? Is it an operational expense, reduction? Is it a increase in revenue? Is it a, we had one organization we're working with that had an insurance upsell that they wanted to do within their program. By using the right channel at the right time, creating a conversational experience, they were able to, increase their attach rates from something like 20% to 57%. Truly. So I think that's the type of thing. And then we're working, very methodologically with companies to say, okay, let's move on now. Now we've proved that case in that particular part of your customer journey. Let's prove it again, somewhere else. It's definitely not just about, creating, fancy dashboards and, when we're talking about data. I think data is a critical point as well. So quite frankly, most enterprises, data is a mess. Whether it's a MarTech stack, whether it's a contact center stack, whether there are so many different silos of data out there. That sort of bringing those together and having an overview is important. But I think what's equally important is actually looking at programs at different parts of the customer journey and then proving that out and then spreading that learning across the enterprises.
Jonathan, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Will do. You too. Take care.
And thank you for watching. You've been watching me, David Dungay, on CX Today.